Forensic anthropology is without a doubt one of the coolest subjects I've ever heard of, let alone actually done any work in. And to think that 5 months before making this video had never even crossed my radar. But before I can get to that, I have to get to introductions. Hi, and welcome to 5 Minutes Knowledge. To preface this lecture, I'd like to explain what anthropology actually is first and foremost. The very basics of the subject are that anthropology is the study of humans. This is through culture, history, and interactions with one another. It also covers the evolution of the hominid line, that being all of the humanoids before us. Think Homo habilis and Homo erectus. The most direct path to become a forensic anthropologist is usually through physical anthropology, as the skills are valuable in how the field operates. Forensics, being multidisciplinary in nature, plays nicely with anthropology, as humans, if you haven't noticed, play a big part in crime across the world. Some crime ends in death, and as a result, forensic anthropologists may have to be consulted. The most direct definition of forensics as a whole is simply scientific evidence applied to law. As, while a case is proceeding, anyone who has contributed evidence will have to testify in court as to the validity of the evidence, some of which I will explain later. In this specific case, forensic anthropologists have the duty to analyze human skeletal remains to assist in criminal investigations and provide insights into the circumstances surrounding a person's death. This can be through various methods such as tool mark identification, trauma investigation, and determining post-mortem interval, which helps establish time of death, as not every body is nice and juicy, and, most importantly, intact. Forensic anthropology is a very hands-on field for the majority of work, but seeing as this is video and that you probably aren't ready to touch a gooey body, visuals might be the better course of action. This here is the University of Tennessee, located in Knoxville. It's home to probably the most well-known tool for forensic anthropology, that being the original body farm. The body farm serves to show aspiring anthropologists how decomposition might look in various scenarios, which is useful for identification and is not something that a video lesson like this can directly teach you. There are lots around the globe, with some notable ones in Texas and Quebec, specializing in different climates. There's one in Arizona that's being run by Arizona State University West Valley that's utilizing pigs dressed in different types of clothing. All of these are meant to give the experience of what one might find in the line of work that can't be found through autopsy. Some of the other duties of forensic anthropologists are recovery of remains and determination of cause of death. Whenever skeletal remains are involved, they may not always be intact, and police might mistake animal bones for human bones, which is where the anthropologist has to come in and determine what bone it is and if it's human. They then will have to remove any tissue from the bone in order to check for tool marks or any trauma, which is crucial for determining cause of death. Removing the tissue can actually be a really time-consuming process because you can't just scrape it off with a knife. Sometimes you will literally have to put it in a crock pot in order to soften up any connections and then spend days chipping at it with dentistry tools. Yes, a crock pot, as in the thing your mom uses when she wants to make a questionable family meal. Except replace the beef with some yummy arm tendons and add in a femur for flavoring. Most of the work past this point is just utilizing osteology, the study of bones, to estimate sex and age and determine any out of the ordinary trauma for the cause of death. Sex can be estimated by utilizing the pelvis and the skull using a program called morphopathy, which stands for Morphological Pelvis and Skull Sex Estimation. DNA can also be extracted from teeth or other bones, as they might be the only things left in case of a severely degraded body. That's pretty much the basics of forensic anthropology, which can mainly be summed up into being a bone detective, which, when I say that out loud, is a much cooler title than forensic anthropologist, although the latter sounds more professional and like you have a higher tax bracket. Beside all that, forensic anthropology is important work. It's incredibly valuable to any forensics operation, yet it's still not what really comes to mind when someone mentions forensics. I hope this video changed your mind about that, or at least mildly disturbed you in a productive educational way. Hopefully, if you ever die in some unfathomable way, say plane crash, mysterious forest cult, or an unfortunate encounter with gravity, your local forensic anthropologist can piece your bones together like some dark jigsaw puzzle and figure out what caused your untimely demise. Or they'll mistake your femur for a stick, which shouldn't happen unless they're grossly underqualified, and you end up on the missing persons registry. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at the body farm someday, preferably as one of the students, not one of the examples.